All right, I think I've got one more rebuttal acknowledgement. I'm in agreement where we're so entrenched by a fallacy. So you've got to go back to the beginning. That's why history should never be erased, no matter what it is, good or bad. People that want to have history revised are just hiding the truth. And if you hide the truth, then you can control, you can manipulate the sheep. And so originally, when we passed the quarter-cent sales tax, it was to grow the tax base. And then the guy that got involved with it, they passed the interlocal agreement where it says the funds will be used for economic development, for infrastructure, and for quality of life. Then the guy that starts running it, Mr. Doug Kinzinger, Doug starts saying, hey, this is for job creation. Well, yeah, creating jobs is economic development, but then the jobs have to grow the tax base. So we give corporate welfare to the Mars family. The Mars family is the last people that need corporate welfare. Hey, I love Mars. I used to eat the green the green ones in hope of uh, greater expectations. I only eat the high coca, the chocolate that has the high coca content. You know what I mean? And then and like so Home Depot and we got box movers. So hey, look, all this it looks like we did a good job. And so but let's go back to Yes Topeka, and I'll put a link to where because I was one of the guys that went out and got the thing approved. And one of the guys, I think it was the Quanas or the Optimus. One of the old mayors, Chuck Wright, walks up to me and says, "Henry, you did a good job, good presentation. Thank you, thank you." So hey, but he goes, "Henry," he goes, "that will just turn into a slush fund. You just watch." And Topeka will just give the money to their friends. Typical Topeka. So anyway, then uh, actually the quarter-cent sales tax was supposed to sunset, but then they got it jacked up to the half-cent sales tax, and so the tax base isn't growing. And yeah, and I've got huge resentments against this group. I've got huge resentments against this group because I believe they're putting me out of business. So basically, we use tax dollars to buy land, take it off the tax rolls. So then they take title to the land. Go Topeka has title to the land, don't pay taxes. And then they also control the economic development money. So if you're coming to Topeka, you're not going to Henry McClure. You got to go to the Topeka Country Club and to go to Topeka, and it's a bunch of nice people. So then I look like a crybaby out here complaining. But look, if the one percenters want to go ahead and fund Go Topeka, that's fine. But these are our tax dollars. So I get to say whatever I want to anybody on the board of directors because these are our tax dollars. And Jim Klossman should lead by example. It's been a decade and he hasn't paid taxes out in Lawrence Bay. So what? Hey, you shouldn't have done business with Gene Yanni. Topeka shouldn't have run Gene Yanni out of town. Maybe if the body politic and the city of Topeka could have done things different in Lawrence Bay, maybe Gene Yanni wouldn't have gone out of business. That aside, I get to say The Go Topeka are shepherds of our tax dollars, and we shouldn't be spending $1.9 million to fund a not-for-profit that administers 5 million. They're using 38% of their funds goes to overhead. I mean that doesn't work at Midwest Health. That doesn't work at Advisors Excel. That doesn't work at Reesers. Doesn't work at Capital Federal. So anyway, um, the deal is we got to get the government out of the real estate business. We've got to get the government out of the real estate business. There's duplications of this diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're funding a position for that at Go Topeka. No, we've got three people that do it at the city of Topeka. So Go Topeka, and the people should rise up. It's your tax dollars. Every time you see a water main break, you got to think about, well, maybe we could take that $1.9 million and just put it into infrastructure. Maybe we could. I'd rather see KS commercial signs on all the land that Go Topeka has title to, and I'd rather deal with Mike Morris and Ed Eller and Rezac, because they treat brokers fairly. We're in that business. And then everybody individually ought to be able to come to Jetto and make a request for funds. Neil Dobler acts like, well, that would open up Pandora's box. And he didn't fund um, me trying to get the Travelers torn down, which I think that would have been great quality of life. Police department did so they were so good to get that thing completely vacant. And then Karen Hiller so smug, like, oh, you're you're gonna open it back up. Now you're kind of ruining all the good things that you've been trying to do. What? What are you talking about? The city's never funded anything that I've tried to do. They've never, not one nickel. I tried to get them to tried to get help on the boulevard um, for years. I asked for help to tear down Bennigan's. I asked for help uh, to tear down Wild Horse. I asked for help to buy out the ground lease. I asked for help to work with Casey's. Every time I ask for help, oh no, that doesn't create jobs. That doesn't create jobs. They have they have railroaded Henry McClure for the last time because I'm not asking anymore. And you know what? What we ought to do is take Miss Molly and make her the expediter at the planning department. So we call Miss Molly, and she works, because there isn't anybody, better at working with the government than her. I'm telling you. So um, let's get her to become the expediter. So anytime you've got a problem with your plans, the approval, it shouldn't take 2 years to get a Pizza Hut permit. And what's funny, if I think back in my past, I just go to the bar. I used to just go to the bar and meet the other alcoholics, and we talk, and we commiserate about all the other, they're getting the same treatment. and then we could conspire in our own, and we figure out how to make deals. And go to people, they don't know how to make deals because they're not making deals. They were the last thing they were bragging about. Hey, we got 2 jobs for the Christmas tree lighting guy, and then the other lady one said that building gardens was economic development. They've got all this money put forward or in the bank account, and so just just fire Go Topeka, move Miss Molly into the city, and make her an expediter for developers, provide her an office space, and look, it's a bunch of nice people there, and it's a great idea, but it's not working. The Mary Thomas out at CRC for 1% of the funds manages all the money. So let's just ask Mary Thomas to manage all the Go Topeka commitments. So everybody, anytime that we've already committed something and we're going to owe them money, out of the slush fund, we can continue to pay them. So anyway, what do I got to lose? No, and what's wrong with the truth? Oh, and a little truth about Bring Back the Boulevard. So they've got a sign out there. Let them all take credit for it. I'll figure out how to make a living doing something. We've got. My dad was a media attorney. The media's maybe maybe the media is my way. Hey, I got a guy from a McClure from Ireland, Robert McClure from Northern Ireland, saw one of my videos. But I respect Jim Klossman for all of what he's tried to do for Topeka. He did get funds from Go Topeka for Wheatfield that we didn't get on the boulevard. So that's a little extra. And God bless Cody Foster for everything that he's done. And he's down at the city saying, I'm not going to do anything more. But nothing's going to happen until the people revolt. They're not going to listen to me. They all think they're waiting for me to start using drugs again. But what's so fun about this life is that, man, you can see everybody for who they are and what they are a lot faster. And the problem is you wake up the next day and you see it. It's still in your face. It's a beautiful problem. And, Topeka's our town. I'm not listening to any more bullshit about how we're going to grow Topeka. Um, until the creative class, until the creative class starts running this community, we really need to engage younger people. Younger people need to really engage. Sometimes I look at the people on city council, and it's like it's nothing more than the student council back from high school in certain ways. And then the night there's people, I admire anybody that runs for office. Even that Akala lady who called my friend Mickey Mouse. When it came down to the drug addiction stuff, she got really engaged, and I hope that they report on. But that whole thing was a sham too, because there never was a committee. The committee had disbanded years ago. They're just doling it out to their friends, but that never gets reported. Oh my God. I can't wait to see how I can't wait to see how this stuff with Steve Wade shakes out. Can't wait to I can't wait to read the depositions. Oh man. Anyway, you're right. You're right when you say it's hard to change the mindset. I got nothing to lose. They froze me out of the real estate business when it comes to economic development. But I'm telling you something. If I had anything to do with anything around this joint, I would engage I would engage anybody in the real estate business today that's got a real estate license to come forward and say, look, I'll be on the committee to grow Topeka, to grow the tax base, because I want the relationships of all the people in Topeka. Topeka is the hardest place to introduce an idea because it's incestuous. The Topeka's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. Now, I ain't gonna help that guy because my grandfather did that and this and that happened. It's Topeka, Kansas. Deep down, fine. There's plenty of places to do business. Got a good start here. Look at Mace Siegel. He got a good start here. He couldn't do business. Mace was so funny. He's a Jewish boy from New York, and this is the way he said it. He goes, Henry, the New York Jew couldn't get anything done in the Midwest. So I make a deal with the Swedish boy from Topeka, Dana K. Anderson. And Dana, man, he can smooth talker, good salesman, nice fella. One thing Dana knows how to do better than anything is to not, he would never make a video like this. But he also found out what it's like. Bob Fletcher and all those meetings they had about 37th and Gage. He got a dose of Topeka. He got a dose of Topeka as a developer. So anyway, that's another thing. I'm going to close on the fact that we need to change how benefit districts are done. And I'm going to ask Jetto. I'm going to ask you guys. I need $1.6 million. Let's see, what do I need? The estimate here is 1.654550. That's the preliminary estimate to run a sewer line from year to year. So I got like a little 2 acre lot there for sale. I got 7 acres here and 6 acres and 14 acres. And so all this stuff, that project took a year and a half, and the city council person fighting it. You, you should have seen you should have seen the video. I watched the Zoom video of all the people in the neighborhood meeting. It was like angry people on their couch. I've never seen such grumpy people. But we're not going to do it in my neighborhood. I mean, this street right here has like there's some guy that owns like a business where they take care of you in the house. And the guy that lives down here, he's telling me, he goes, you ought to see when those people come to take care. There's 4 and 5 cars at every house, and so like it's like home health care. No, hey, get it. That's why Klossman. We got to go to Klossman's place. Hey, Jim, Big Jim, you got to send some salespeople over here. Get them living in your places. Hey, that would be a good thing for Go Topeka, since we know that that the the facilities that Midwest runs are so successful. Why don't we cater to them and give them economic development help? And that, or you know, if we turn the table on the other foot, but all this can be developed because the city of Topeka needs housing. And what a better place to have the housing right here where you put the restaurants and you've got Walmart and Dillon's just cross the river. There isn't any reason that we can't change the way we do benefit districts. Or did you read that article the other day? Matt Pavarnak, the right people have to own it. The right people. Now they changed it. They edited that out. CJ Online. This will be a good post for my not the CJ Online. This will be a good rant for that. But it's all about the truth, baby. And I'll tell you what, if anybody watched this to the end, let's see, I don't know. We got 21 minutes. I've reached a milestone in my life because I've got Charles Waldron now on my side and an old Mace Ridge fellow. And if I could sell Charles Waldron on something, my life has changed. Charles helped me get started with Mace Ridge in Winter Park, Florida in 1983. Did I hated it. I went from being a salesman to working in a file room, but today I loved it. Oh, and what was really wild while I was there, um, there was a tornado, and I actually somewhere I've got a little piece of one of the blocks that fell off, and there was this cool secretary. She was like a spinster that loved Epcot and Disney World, and Carrie Webb was a little smug. Carrie tried to refine me, but I don't know. Who are you related to? Because I guess Mike Siegel was the first trainee. Mike Johnston or Johnson was the second trainee, and Mike his he was married to Charlie Hallam's. There was some sort of relation to Charlie Hallam's. Charlie Hallam's wife's. I don't know, but anyway, there are a lot of people, a lot of friends got hired. I'm glad Roush's buddy got hired. Chuck got sent down to Mississippi when I was trying to get the leasing job in '83 or '82 and '83, and then I got to be the trainee, and then I got to go to Boulder. Anyway, I feel better. Weigh in. You guys are gonna have to start helping me. I can't do this alone. And if nobody told you they love you, I do. I love you.